The reason why you fear rejection is because you're letting other people's perception of you control you. Let me repeat that. The reason why you fear rejection is because you're letting other people's perception of you control you. What does other people's perception of you, what does that have to do with you and how you feel about yourself and what you're capable of doing and who you are as a person? What does somebody else and their perception of you, what does that have to do with you and how you feel? It absolutely has nothing to do with you. You're putting too much weight on how people perceive you. If you apply for a job and you get rejected, so what? What does that have to do with what you're capable of? You put all of your skills, all of your experience, all of your job history on your resume, and they still don't want you. So what does that have to do with you? They don't want you is their perception. What does that have to do with your perception? You already know what you're capable of doing. You already know what jobs you worked at. You know what you can do. You know your field of expertise. You know your craft. You know your talent. You know what you can do, right? Well, you're supposed to feel confident. The reason why you fear rejection, the reason why you get upset when somebody rejects you is because you're not confident in yourself. You're not confident. You can walk up to a woman or a man and they reject you. You have an interest in somebody and they reject you. So what does that have to do with you? So what if they reject you? So what if they don't want to be with you? What does that have to do with how you feel about yourself? There's no tie into how you feel about yourself. There's no connection there, right? How they perceive you, their perception is no connection on how you feel about yourself. So if somebody rejects you, does that mean everybody's going to reject you? Does that mean everybody doesn't want you? Does that mean everybody doesn't have a need for your presence? No, everybody is not the same. You might think you have a flaw in something. Somebody might not see that flaw. Somebody might not see that flaw. You see the flaw because you have no confidence in who you are. So you think it's a flaw because somebody else says it's a flaw. Or somebody else doesn't want anything to do with that. So now you don't want to have anything to do with that. You're not confident in yourself. Now you have low self-esteem. Now you have low confidence. Now you have a low perception in how you feel. Now your vibration is low now. You should never let anybody control how you feel. You should never let anybody's perception of you control how you feel. You should never let anybody's rejection of you control how you feel. Remember, you control how you feel. You have control over your own confidence and your own confidence level. It's all in your control. You decide whether it goes up or down. You letting other people decide that for you. That's why you fear rejection. You fear rejection because you don't have any control over and you're not dictating your own feelings on how you feel about yourself. So going back to what I said earlier, what does somebody rejecting you, what does that have to do with you? It has nothing to do with you because you're in control, right? They might think you're ugly. Well, that's their problem. What does that have to do with you? They feel you're ugly. They feel you're not good looking. They feel you're overweight. They feel you're not attractive. So what? So what? That's their perception. You see what I'm saying? That's their perception of you. Their perception of you has nothing to do with you and how you feel about yourself. There's no connection. Somebody might feel you're not a good fit for their project. So what? You're gonna stop everything you do because of somebody else? Why would you stop everything? Why would you put your life at a halt because of what somebody else feels or what somebody else perceives of you? Why would you stop your life because of that? And you got to look at it as it's their loss. It's their loss and somebody else's gain. That's how you got to look at life. It's their loss. If they don't want me, that's their problem. That's their loss. It has nothing to do with you. Don't make it your loss. Don't look at your life as it's irrelevant, because it's not irrelevant. Because you're not putting all the weight in what other people feel and what other people perceive of you and why they're rejecting you. Who cares why they're rejecting you? Worry about how you feel about yourself. That's the root of your fear. The root of your fear has nothing to do with how somebody else thinks of you. How you think of yourself, that's the root cause. Because it's your life you're living. Nobody else is living your life for you. You're looking through a different lens than what other people are looking through that reject you. You're looking at a totally different lens than they are. That's how you got to look at it. You're looking at your own life different than what somebody else is looking at it from. If you reject me, that's your problem. It has nothing to do with me and how I feel about myself. That's how you got to look at it. A lot of people, like I said before a few times, a lot of people just don't love who they are. Because other people don't love who they are. But this is Mac, and I see you in the next one.